I wanted to very quickly start with a little bit about my story. I won't, it's quite lengthy, and some of it, quite frankly, some of it is unbelievable. But for tonight, I'd be more than happy to share it with all of you. But for tonight, I just want to give you the abbreviated version because that's not why we're here. But I think it's important that you understand how I have come to this point to be here with you, to share this with you. And it may, hopefully, some of it may correlate, and you may be able to connect that to your situation. So just like you, I'm an NPE. We all have that in common. I made my discovery about a year ago. I found this group within literally 2 or 3 days after my discovery, which was extremely important. I just told someone this morning, I discovered the group when all this was still very raw emotionally for me. I've been practicing mindfulness for about 15 years. I'll explain that in a minute. But those first couple days were absolutely, I lost my mind. I lost all semblance of mindfulness, and I was just stewing in my swirling sea of negative emotions. I didn't know what to do. And so I think some of you may be able to identify with that, is why I share that. In the last year, I have uncovered many lies. I'm sure some of you can identify with that as well. I know that some of you can also identify that my entire life I knew something wasn't right. I just didn't know what it was. And when it answered a lot of questions, when I did find out of things that had plagued me or bothered me throughout my lifetime. So the quick rundown with my story is and this may get a little bit heavy. I will go through it quickly so it doesn't. I'm a newly discovered NPE. I'm a survivor of sexual abuse. I have a narcissistic mother, an alcoholic birth certificate father. They were divorced when I was at the age of 7. I became the surrogate spouse to my mother. I ended up being a teenage father and a teenage husband. I almost divorced. My wife and I almost got divorced 15 years ago, which was the darkest moment of my life. I had made a wreck of things, and I survived. After that, we were able to reconcile. I'll go through more about that in a minute. I survived brain surgery after that. My only male role model in my life was my father-in-law. Actually committed suicide 4 days after my brain surgery, and I couldn't even go to the funeral. I lost my best friend and my adopted son 6 months, almost to the day, in 2015. So I've had a lot of negative things happen to me in my life, but I've had a lot of positive things as well, which is what this is about. The MPE revelation was actually just another step in a series of steps in my life, uncovering the veil of dysfunction and deceit that I was raised to not see it for what it was. The journey began about 15 years ago. As I said, my wife and I had made a mess of my life. I was at proverbial rock bottom. We almost divorced. I decided to pull myself up by my bootstraps and do something different, which set me on a path of personal development. What has transpired has led me the path of self-discovery and ultimately self-healing. And I'm happier in my life today than I ever dreamed I could be, which is the point. This is why I'm here. What I thought happiness was, what I thought it looked like because of the dysfunction when I was younger, I never dreamed my life could be what it is today. Now, it's a daily work in progress. One of Russell Brand. I enjoy Russell Brand. He's a comedian. He's a little foul, but he is very raw. Tells it like it is. He's a recovering addict, and I saw him say in an interview, "Don't take my word for it. I'm still a maniac." And I quote that every once in a while. I'm not perfect. I'm not healed. However, I am growing and I'm healing, and I am happy, and that is what's important. So mindfulness has been an integral tool in my growth. It always brings me back to the center. And it can be used in many different aspects. And we're going to go into that more over the next couple weeks.